What's going on, guys? Dobros! Back at you with another video, and yes, the time is here to finally discuss Crocodile. Yes, the man, the warlord, the legend himself, Crocodile. Now, the number one question I get asked, Dua, why does Crocodile have such a low bounty? It's only 81 million, yet he can contend with the best of the best. Well, there are two different theories I have. One is that he joined at a very, very young age, and he made a huge wave for himself, and became a warlord right as his first bounty came out. So, unlike Luffy with 30 million berry bounty, Crocodile had an 81 million berry bounty. Yes, this man right here had an 81 berry bounty at the very beginning of the story. Now, that's not to say that that's the only reason. The other reason could be, in fact, that he was once a woman. Yes, let's scroll through here and find that. There. Yes, Oda has drawn Crocodile as a woman, and also, we also see in the Impel Down arc, we see Ivankov conversing with Crocodile, telling him she will tell everybody his secret if he does not comply to her demands. And in fact, the only thing Ivankov could possibly do to control Crocodile in that way is turn him into a woman. Now, I hope that's not the case because everybody knows it by now. I hope the secret is much, much more deeper, much more in depth. So I'm not 100% that is the case. It may not be the case. It may very well be something stupid that Oda just decides to throw at us. It could be something that doesn't mean anything. Now, let's get into Crocodile's powers. What are his powers? What is his capabilities? Well, he basically has the power of sand. He ate the sand fruit, and his body is the first body we see that is a Logia user. Okay, that means that anything can pass through him. He is non-tangible with this fruit. He can turn into sand. Okay, so if you punched him, he would disintegrate into sand, just like Pwah! And absolutely disintegrate. So things like bullets, punches do not work on him. However, he has a huge weakness, and that is water. So on top of already being weak to water like most devil fruit users, Crocodile is super weak to water. He is so weak to water, in fact, that if you just coated your hand in water and punched him, he would become solid. Now, why is that? Well, because sand bonds to water. Okay? Haven't you ever, grabbed a handful of sand and then thrown it into the water to make mud? That's what would happen. So it makes him become tangible, so you can touch him, punch him, kick him, whatever. Now, Crocodile's design is really cool. We see him here, he's got a scar, he's got rings, he's got a giant hook. We don't know how he has the hook because in Impel Down, let's see if I can scroll and find it. In Impel Down, he still has the hook. Oh, there it was. See, he still has his hook. So how the hell does he still have his hook on if he hasn't lost his hand? Because if you see the size of the hook, it looks like his hand could actually still be in there. So that's an interesting thing in itself. When we reach the Alabasta arc and we see Crocodile for the first time, he's this imposing figure that has a crime syndicate that runs the underground. Nobody knows his true identity. Nobody knows exactly who he is. Even his closest allies don't know who he is. That's how secretive this organization is. The only person in the organization, Baroque Works, that's the name of the organization. The only person in this organization who knows about him is Nico Robin, a woman with 79 million berries to her head. That's right. She was wanted from day one as a child. She was wanted because she had so much knowledge, and the fact that she was working with Crocodile means that Crocodile was so powerful he was able to protect her from the world government. Now, let's talk about something else. So a lot of people bring this up, in the Impel Down arc they say use the prison bullets, and they seem to use these bullets on Crocodile and shoot him. And we see here that the bullets pass harmlessly through him. What actually happened, guys, is he is able, because he's mastered his devil fruit, hasn't necessarily awakened it, maybe he has. It's not confirmed nor denied. Maybe he has awakened it. I don't know. But he is able to control his devil fruit to the point where he can actually predict the openings and open up his holes for the bullet to pass straight through without causing him any physical harm. So he has a lot of training with the devil fruit. Now, he's got a giant scar across his face. If you guys didn't know, Crocodile has a huge grudge against Whitebeard. Okay, he wanted to kill Whitebeard himself during the Great War. He came at Whitebeard full-fledged, tried to stab him with the hook. It did not work. But theory goes is that Crocodile took on Whitebeard as a young man and lost. Whitebeard beat the shit out of him. So for revenge, Crocodile's always scheming up ways to get back at Whitebeard. Now, what is Crocodile's bounty currently after the Great War? We don't know. I speculated somewhere above the 200 mark. I'd say it's probably around 450 million berries. Somewhere around there. He is extremely strong. Now, again, I think losing to Luffy was just a fluke. Luffy figured out his weakness early on, but you have to remember, Crocodile capped the guy like 3 times. Okay, stabbed him with a hook, drained all the moisture out of his body, and left him to die and bury in the sand. Okay, Crocodile uses moves like Sables, which is what he's using right here. He basically creates a little whirlwind inside of his palm that circulates, causing the sand mixed with the wind, and he can use this and throw this and make people go flying with it. It's an incredible technique, very well used, because he's controlling every little particle of his sand to make this happen, causing a swirling vortex that people just get caught up in. Now, in his hook, right here, actually I can use the woman one, in his hook, you can see it's got little rings on it. Those little rings contain the poison that seeps out of the end of the hook when he takes off the casting. So he has poison hook, he has the devil fruit ability, and he is a mastermind who can run a crime syndicate. Now, this is the first shadow we see of Crocodile in the opening. Back in the Alabasta arc, he was the most imposing character we have seen since the series began. The last guy we saw that was this imposing was probably Arlong, who is nothing compared to this guy. Okay, this guy could take out Arlong every day of the week. Doesn't matter what time, name a place, Crocodile would drain the moisture out of him and leave him a shriveled little, I don't know, just dust. It wouldn't even matter. Now here, I want to talk about this. Here is where Crocodile is my favorite character. And here's why. Because he can take on the heaviest of hitters. Okay, Doflamingo feared him so much during the Great War, he actually asked Crocodile to join him. Crocodile declined with this clash here, but not only that, he used Desert La Espada, which is basically where he stabs the ground with his hands, causing the dirt to basically cut the ground and split the ground in front of him, making huge blades of sand. And it's not clear if Crocodile can turn his sand into glass with the mastery of his fruit, but I'm sure he can do something along those lines. Not that necessarily, but probably something close to it, because he cuts up Akainu. Okay, he saves Luffy and Jinbei when they're running away from Akainu by cutting Akainu into thirds. And Akainu doesn't even take on Crocodile. It's too much of a hassle. He just tries to bypass Crocodile, and Crocodile won't let him. Okay, Crocodile uses Sables and makes Luffy and Jinbei go flying, so he saves the day, really, when you think about it. And it's interesting that Oda made him go from the biggest antagonist to one of Luffy's greatest allies in the Great War. Okay, now it is stated when he went to Impel Down that he went through the treatment of hell without even batting an eye. Basically what the treatment of hell is, they throw you in a vat of boiling water to sanitize you. Crocodile went through this without even batting an eyelash. He was willing to go through with it just fine, and it didn't even matter. That's how strong this guy is, okay? So not only is he physically imposing, he is an amazing user of Haki. He either has great observation or great conquerors. He might even use some of the best armament Haki we've ever seen in the series. We don't know, okay? The guy is just amazing. Really though, he has such organizational skills, it's insane, because his crime syndicate was, I mean, this ran on for years, and his goal was to find Pluton. Pluton is one of the 3 ancient weapons that allow you to control the world. If you contain all 3, it is said you can take out any of the Yonko, even the Pirate King. And that's Crocodile's goal, is to actually become the Pirate King. That was his dream. And finding Pluton was one step closer to getting to that dream. Okay, if he found Pluton, he could obliterate Whitebeard and gain control of his population, controlling that part of the world and become a Yonko. That's one step closer to his dream becoming the Pirate King. Now, he never makes it that far, obviously. He gets beaten by Luffy and sent to Impel Down. When he breaks out, he helps Luffy get Ace back, and of course it's all for naught because Ace dies. Now, this doesn't affect Crocodile in any way, but Crocodile's right-hand man, Daz Bones, plays a huge part in this because he saves Luffy from Mihawk. Basically, Daz Bones jumps in front of Luffy and takes Mihawk slash full on. I mean, he does get cut, but he still took it full on and did not die. Crocodile's forces are pretty badass. They're heavy hitters, okay? Mr. One had a bounty of 75 million berries. That's a huge hitter right there, okay? In the East Blue, that is no joke. Not only that, Bon Clay, the number 2 in the organization, had a 32 million berry bounty. That's bigger than Luffy's at the time, okay? So these guys were all heavy hitters. I mean, he was for sure dude the title of warlord. Now, his epithet is Sir Crocodile. I'm not sure if he's really royalty or how he got that name, but he got the name Sir Crocodile at the beginning of when he was a rookie, essentially. And that could mean that he's royalty. That could also mean that's just how he carries himself because he's very suave. He's got the super overcoat on. He's got dresses in nice shoes, nice shirt, nice pants, nice belt, ascot, whole 9 yards. Okay, he's kind of a mafia boss. He rules the underground. I mean, a badass character all around. Oda did a great job with this guy. He's super badass. I mean, every time we see him, the fandom goes nuts. Now, we did get some closure about his secret in the latest Vivra card. And basically what they say is that it's juicy enough for Crocodile to stand down. But we already knew this, right? So, is it really going to be that he was a woman this whole time, or is it going to be something even juicier? I'm not sure. We see him after the time skip a little bit. He's strolling with a band of hippos, not sure if they're minks, not sure who they are, but he's there, and he's concocting an evil, plan to bounce back from this. We're not sure what he's going to do, but I think he's going to show up at a time we least expect it. I think he's going to cut down somebody extremely important, maybe even a Yonko or a Yonko commander with just one-shotting him, and he's going to make his debut in the New World that way and become even more powerful. Because like Lucci, Crocodile is one of the biggest antagonists in all of One Piece. He has got to make an appearance this year. Okay, the reason why he needs to make an appearance this year is because if Oda's not going to do it this year, I don't know if we can even wait another year to see Crocodile. That's how much we love him. But anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. My next video, I'm not sure who I'm going to do. I hope you liked this one. I love you all. Duo Bros, signing out.